Welcome back to Eerie Narratives, where the shadows whisper truths most people dare not hear. Tonight, we descend into the fog-shrouded shores of Shadow Lake, a place where the full moon doesn't bring light, it brings hunger. This is a story rooted in the dark soil of New England, Salem's unfinished business, Puritan guilt, and a curse that refuses to drown. If you're listening alone by a window, or worse, near water, turn on a light, and whatever you do, don't answer if someone calls your name from the dark. Our tale begins in the sleepy town of Eldridge Hollow, nestled on the edge of Shadow Lake in northern New Hampshire. Population barely 800. No stoplights, one general store, a white steepled church that stood since 1792. The lake itself is deep, some say bottomless in places, fed by underground springs that keep it unnaturally cold year-round. Locals fish it in summer, skate it in winter, but never after dark, especially not when the moon is full. They call those nights near moons, when the water reflects the sky so perfectly that the moon looks doubled, one above, one below, like two eyes staring back. On those nights, the fog rolls in thick from the pines, and the town locks its doors early. The legend traces back to 1693, just after the Salem witch trials ended. One of the accused, a woman named Abigail Crow, wasn't hanged at Proctor's Ledge like the others. She escaped the noose by fleeing north with a small group of sympathizers. They settled by this very lake, far from prying eyes, but the accusations followed. The townsfolk of the time, still gripped by hysteria, tracked her down. They bound her, rowed her to the center of Shadow Lake under a full moon, and drowned her. As she sank, she cursed them, "My voice will call you home, and the lake will claim what justice denied." Since then, every few years, always on a full moon, someone hears a voice, a child's cry, a spouse's plea, a parent's worried call. It comes from the water's edge, soft and familiar, and if you answer, if you step toward it, you don't come back. Most folks in Eldridge Hollow treat it like any small-town superstition. Kids tell it around campfires, old-timers nod sagely at the general store, but everyone follows the rules. Lights on porches after dusk, doors barred by 9 p.m., and never, ever respond to a voice calling from outside. Our story centers on 3 people who tested those rules. First, there's Elias Thorne, the town sheriff, 48, widowed, born and raised here. His wife, Clara, vanished 5 years ago on a mirror moon night. She went out to check on a neighbor's boat and never returned. They found her flashlight on the dock, still on, beam cutting through fog toward the water. No body, no trace. Elias never quite believed the legend, but he enforces the curfew harder than anyone. Then there's Sarah Whitaker, 29, a schoolteacher who moved back after college to care for her aging father. She's the rational one, loves science, podcasts about debunking myths. She rolls her eyes at the witch talk. It's just grief and bad acoustics over water, she tells her students. Sound carries funny on lakes. And finally, young Tommy Hale, 17, home from boarding school for summer. Tommy's the skeptic, atheist, gamer, always on his phone. He thinks the whole town is stuck in the 1700s. If there's a ghost witch, why hasn't she gone viral on TikTok, he jokes. The full moon is approaching, October's hunter moon, blood-tinged and bright. The weather report promises clear skies, but locals know better. Fog always comes. It starts small. 2 nights before the full moon, old Mr. Grayson, who lives closest to the shore, swears he hears his late wife's voice calling from the reeds. "Henry, the boat's loose again. Come help me tie it." He almost steps out in his slippers, but he remembers Abigail's curse. He slams the door, lights every lamp, and prays till dawn. The next morning, he tells Elias at the diner. Elias nods, writes it in the log like always. "Stay inside after dark, Henry. You know the drill." Sarah overhears and laughs it off. Grief echoes, "Sheriff, that's all." Tommy, scrolling on his phone, smirks. Bet it's just someone pranking the old man. But that night, Sarah's father, bedridden with pneumonia, starts muttering in his sleep. "Sarah, the water's so cold. Come warm me up." Sarah checks on him. He's burning with fever. She chalks it up to delirium. Tommy sneaks out after midnight to meet friends at the old mill ruins. He hears nothing unusual, but the lake looks wrong, too still, the moon's reflection perfect, like glass. Then the full moon arrives. 9 p.m. Town goes quiet. Porch lights glow like sentinels. Elias patrols in his cruiser, radio crackling. All units, curfew in effect. Report any disturbances. Sarah's at home, grading papers by the window overlooking the lake. Her father sleeps fitfully. She hears it first, a soft splash, then a voice. Sarah. It's her mother's voice. Her mother died when Sarah was 12, cancer. The voice is gentle, exactly as she remembers, warm, a little tired. Sarah, honey, I fell in. The dock's slippery. Help me out. It's so cold. Sarah freezes. Her rational mind screams, impossible, Mom's gone. But the voice tugs at her heartstrings like a hook. She stands, walks to the window, peers into the fog. Nothing, just the moon's twin staring back from the water. Sarah, please. It's closer now, from the shore path. Sarah's hand hovers over the doorknob. She whispers, Mom. No answer, but the voice repeats, pleading. Across town, Tommy's in his room, headphones on. His phone buzzes, text from a friend. Dude, you hearing that? Someone's calling from the lake. Tommy pulls off the headphones, listens. Tommy, buddy, I need your help. The canoe tipped, I'm stuck under it. It's his best friend Jake's voice, Jake who drowned last summer in a boating accident. Tommy's face strains of color. He knew Jake, they were tight. He grabs a flashlight, heads downstairs. His mom calls from the kitchen. Tommy, where are you going? Just checking something, back in a sec. He steps onto the porch. The voice again. Tommy, over here, by the rocks. He shines the light, fog swirls, no one. But the voice pulls him forward, step by step, down the path to the water. Elias is on patrol near the North Shore when his radio crackles. Sarah's voice, panicked. Sheriff, I think I heard my mom from the lake. I'm going to check. Elias slams the brakes. Sarah, stay inside. Do not go out. But the line cuts. He speeds toward her house. At Sarah's, she opens the door, steps onto the dock. The voice is right there, right at the edge. Sarah, reach for my hand. She sees a pale shape in the water, long hair floating, face half submerged. It looks like her mother, exactly. She kneels, extends her hand. The hand that grasps hers is ice cold, too strong. It pulls. Sarah screams. Elias arrives just in time. He sees Sarah half over the edge, fighting something unseen. He grabs her waist, hauls her back. They collapse on the dock. The water goes still again. No voice, no shape. Sarah's shaking. It was her. It was Mom. Elias holds her. It wasn't. It's never them. Meanwhile, Tommy's further out. He's at the water's edge. The voice, Jake's, begs, help me. Push the canoe off. I'm drowning again. Tommy wades in ankle deep. The bottom drops sharply. Cold bites through his shoes. Just a little farther, Tommy. He steps deeper, knee deep, waist. Then he hears another voice, his own mother's, from behind. Tommy, get back here now. He turns. His mom stands on the bod, flashlight in hand, terrified. The mimic in the water hisses, low, inhuman. The illusion shatters for a second. Not Jake, but something pale, elongated, eyes like moonlit voids. Tommy scrambles back. His mom drags him to safety. The town doesn't sleep that night. Next day, whispers, fear. Elias calls a town meeting at the church. The old pastor, Reverend Hale, reads from faded records. Abigail Crow's drowning, the curse. She mimics to lure, never answer, never go to the water. Sarah, still shaking, admits, I believed it. Tommy's quiet, for once, no jokes. But the moon's still full tomorrow night. The curse isn't done. That second night is worse. Multiple calls, children crying for parents, husbands for wives. The fog thicker. Lights flicker on porches as if the wind or something else tries to snuff them. Elias stations volunteers at key docks with lanterns and ropes. If anyone hears a call, shout for help. Don't go alone. But one man, widower Mr. Ellis, can't resist. He hears his daughter's voice, lost to leukemia years ago. He rows out in his old boat. They find the boat empty at dawn, oars floating, no sign of him. Sarah researches obsessively, old newspapers, Salem archives. She finds a mention of Abigail, accused of bewitching voices to drown sailors on the coast before fleeing north. She tells Elias, the mimic isn't random, it uses what hurts most, our guilt, our loss. Tommy, humbled, joins them, and what if we confront it? Go to the center of the lake where they drowned her. Elias shakes his head, that's suicide. But the calls continue. Sarah hears her father calling now, though he's safe in bed. Tommy hears Jake again. Elias, he hears Clara. Elias, I didn't mean to leave you, come find me. He almost breaks. The third night, the moon's peak, they decide. Elias, Sarah, Tommy, Reverend Hale. They take a boat to the center, armed with lanterns, salt, old folklore, and a Bible. The water's black mirror, fog so thick they can barely see each other. Then the voices rise, a chorus. Sarah's mother, Tommy's friend, Elias's wife, Elias's daughter, all bleeding. Come to us. The boat rocks, hands, pale, wrinkled, reach from below. Reverend Hale chants prayers, they scatter salt. Sarah shouts, Abigail Crow, your justice was denied, but this isn't justice, let them rest. A face emerges, Abigail's, twisted in rage and sorrow, hair like lakeweeds, eyes burning. They took my life, now I take theirs. The boat tips, water surges. Tommy throws a lantern into the lake, it flares bright, unnaturally. The face recoils. Elias yells, we acknowledge you, your name, your pain, but this ends. Sarah adds, we're sorry for what happened, but drowning more won't heal it. The mimic screams, a sound like tearing metal and weeping. The water boils, hands retreat. The fog lifts suddenly, moonlight pure. The voices fade. They row back in silence. No more calls that night, or the next full moon, or the one after. Elias visits Clara's empty grave more peacefully. Sarah teaches her students about history's shadows. Tommy, he doesn't muck legends anymore. But sometimes, on quiet nights, when the moon reflects perfect on Shadow Lake, a faint splash.